Good evening and welcome to the Buck Stops. Here, the east coast of India is bracing for a severe cyclonic storm. Cyclonic storm Phailin is barreling towards coastal Odisha and Andhra Pradesh and is around 450 kilometers from the coastline at the moment. According to the latest information from the Met Department, the storm will move northwestwards and cross North Andhra Pradesh and the Odisha coast. It's expected to hit between Kalingapatnam and Paradeep, with its centre around Gopalpur around 5:30 tomorrow evening. By the time Cyclone Phailin makes landfall, wind speeds could go up to 210 to 220 kilometers an hour. It could also cause waves that are up to 3 meters high that could flood everything in their path. Low-lying areas expected to be completely flooded. Are expected to be completely flooded. There's threat from flying debris as well. The Army disaster management teams are ready and are being deployed from state capitals for relief work. The Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister has said the state is preparing for unprecedented disaster and is therefore grateful that anti-Telangana striking power employees have actually returned to work. Well, let's just take a look at the 5 areas that are going to be the most critical tomorrow. Let's look at the map that we have over here. You're looking at Srikakulam in Andhra Pradesh. You're looking at Ganjam, Puri, Jagatsinghpur and Khurda in Odisha, where the Met Department is saying the cyclone could have its worst impact. Coastal areas, as we say, are being evacuated from from these 5 particular areas. Well, as we said, tourists are also being relocated from these parts of Odisha to Bhubaneswar, the main capital. The port town of Paradeep is in Jagatsinghpur. The port has been closed for now. It's not just Odisha, as we're saying in Andhra Pradesh. Srikakulam is also likely to be one of the worst hit on the Kalingapatnam coast in northern Andhra Pradesh. Well, we are going to be tracking this cyclone ourselves with our reporters deployed in various parts of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. We have reporters, we have Anchal Vora joining us from Gopalpur, Sneha Mary Koshi from Srikakulam, Tejas Mehta from Visakhapatnam, Shriranjan Sen from Bhubaneswar. Tonight, we will be joined by Anchal and Sneha as well in the course of this bulletin. Both of them joining me from their respective places in Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. Anchal, Gopalpur, where you are, is expected to be where this storm is going to first make a landfall in Gopalpur or Berhampur in Odisha. What are you hearing from officials where you are?
Well, Maya, we were in Gopalpur, but we've been asked by the administration to leave. There are no hotels there giving out any rooms. So the administration, they're taking a very tough stand. They want to make sure that nobody is living close to the beach, at least within 5 to 7 kilometers. And that is expected to be the center of the storm. That authorities have told us is a place, is a region where the landfall, in fact, might hit the shores. So no chances really being taken. Within 5 to 7 kilometers, administration is conducting an evacuation drive. We've seen many small vehicles going into villages, announcing that the villagers must come out. The administration is facing resistance, but work on that front is on. Right now, we are in Berhampur, and the cities in east of India, Maya, were lit up. They were lit up because they were planning for Durga Puja. But now, the news of this cyclone has put everybody on a back foot, so to say. In the hotel that we're staying now, many people vacated the hotel thinking that Berhampur is still only 20 kilometers away from Gopalpur. So a certain sense of fear. 2 lakh people need immediate assistance in the state of Odisha. 2 lakh people need to be evacuated. These are the people who live in kacha houses within 5 to 7 kilometers. The administration has told us that they have thousands of cyclone shelters, pakka buildings that they're turning into shelters. Now, on our way to Gopalpur and Berhampur, we went to many coastal areas, met many people, and this is what they had to tell us. Let's have a look.
A steady exodus in Odisha, people queued up with bags packed up, waiting for their turn to be taken to safety.
आप लोग यहाँ से कहाँ लेके जा रहे हैं?
अशोक नगर हाई स्कूल
लेके जा रहे हैं। हाई स्कूल वो पक्का बिल्डिंग है, इसलिए। तो आप क्या आप लोग पैक किया, क्या सामान लेके जा रहे हैं?
कुछ सामान नहीं, खाली घोड़ा जामा पैंट है।
but it's a race against time.
We have identified all the vulnerable villages. We have about 1300 villages which are likely to be severely affected. And between 0 kilometers from the coast to up to 10 kilometers, we have already announced for evacuation.
Using trucks and buses, authorities have evacuated 40,000 people from 40 villages to government-run shelters, schools and buildings. Even as they plan to take another 1 lakh people to safer areas before the cyclone hits the region. Rushing at the speed of 210 to 220 kilometers per hour, Cyclone Phailin is all set to wreak havoc in the coastal areas of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. The very severe cyclonic storm is expected to impact 1.2 crore people, the destruction and devastation of 1999 super cyclone still fresh. The Odisha government is not ready to take any chances. The administration, called back from the Shera holidays, is working round the clock to prepare for Phailin.
I've just come to see the preparations of the relief materials and the food for people who may be affected by the cyclone.
The Defence Minister has moved the armed forces to Bhubaneswar. 2 IAF IL-76 aircraft have already airlifted 30 NDRF teams with equipments like ropes, rafts, tree cutting equipment. Indian Air Force, fully geared up, has put its choppers on standby, ready to swoop in with relief. Officials have been stockpiling emergency food supplies. Food, water and other necessary items would be provided in the storm shelters open across the coast. The government has also directed opening of free kitchens.
We're at Gopalpur beach right now. This is expected to be at the center of the storm. Authorities have told us that landfall might hit somewhere in this region. In fact, 1,30,000 families need to be evacuated only from Ganjam district. That is 6 lakh people who can be severely impacted. Reporting from Gopalpur in Odisha, Anchal Vora, NDTV.
Well, 40,000 people have already been evacuated from Odisha, as we are reporting. Sneha joins us from Andhra Pradesh, Kalingapatnam in the Srikakulam district, where we believe about 64,000 people have also been evacuated from there. Sneha, the latest update from the Met Department indicates that this is about 410 kilometers southeast of Kalingapatnam, right where you are standing. Now, Anchal has told us that they have been asked to leave Gopalpur. They've been moved to Berhampur in Odisha, away from the coast. What is happening in Andhra Pradesh where you are?
Well, actually in Andhra Pradesh, the point where we are, Kalingapatnam, here is where the cyclone is first going to hit and impact Andhra Pradesh, and it's going to move forward from here. As we move ahead, you can see evacuation which is happening by the administration. The administration is not leaving any chances. There are alerts which have been given out. There are people which are being asked to leave these places. There are 5 NDRF teams which have been posted here. There are 50 relief camps which have been set up. All the relief camps have been stocked up with adequate resources. Not only that, apart from these measures which are being taken, the administration is saying that they are far more better equipped than they were when they were handling the cyclone in the previous years. So we are here joined by farmers, by teachers who have refused to leave this place in spite of the fact that the administration has made several attempts of evacuating them. So you are a farmer here, you have been cultivating land. Why are you not leaving this place?
So we are living here in Kalingapatnam. We have seen so many storms, that at least 5 or 6 or 5 storms I have seen. We never leave from our houses, because at the night time also we have seen the heavy winds, all the flow with 60 or 70 km speeds. We will stay. Our houses are Pakka houses, so we need not move from here.
All right. So tell us something. This is the festive season which is here right now, and there are a lot of people who are coming back to their families. You have come back to your family here, but what is the sense here which we are seeing right now?
People are religious, and for a long time this tradition, what his gentleman is saying, it is going on, because they are born and brought up here. They don't want to leave. But I think other generation or other people who are thinking other way, they are trying to plan, but they are in confusion. It will happen or not happen, because alert system is more in They are feeling like, but there is something definitely threat, as the American satellite system is also warning us. Recently we are seeing, but this is what will be happening tomorrow, they are saying.
All right.
But we will see.
Okay, so there are several pockets in several regions where people are refusing to leave despite the administration saying, ma'am, what are the efforts being made by the administration? You represent them.
The government has alerted the people and also fishermen not to go to fishing into the sea, and also 37 rehabilitation centers have arranged, and nearly 45,000 people will be shifted to the rehabilitation centers.
That's right. There are almost 20,000 people today itself who have been evacuated from this place. Back to the studio.
Right, Sneha, thanks very much for joining us with that update. Andhra Pradesh seeing many storms, clearly a political storm that it's still reeling from and recovering from. Kiran Reddy, the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, has many challenges. He's grateful to striking power workers for having gone back to work and ended their agitation against the split of the state. My colleague Uma Sudhir speaks to him.
The total administration is in place, and I thank them for coming back. Because of the cyclone, they have come back to work and they have all taken their positions. And all the essential commodities which are required, including water and all the material which are required, have been piled up. The medicines have been piled up. And all the low-lying areas have been identified. And I think they are trying to shift about 65,000 people in 3 districts. Now, we have already appealed to the fishermen to not to go for fishing, and whoever are in the sea to come back and not to go for fishing in the next till it comes down. And I think most of them are coming back, and it's because they also see the danger once this is coming up. And the Army and the Air Force, and we've got a naval, big naval force in Vizag, so we are in touch with them. The Chief Secretary is monitoring this. Both, we have got a 24 hours control room in Hyderabad, and all these districts, we have opened a 24 hours control room, and all the numbers and other logistics have been given to them.
Well, as we have been reporting, government employees across both these states have been pulled onto emergency duty. There is military reinforcement as well for possible rescue and relief work. Let's just talk about how India is prepared for this storm and what one can expect going forward. Joining me in the studio, Dr. L.S. Rathore, the Director General of the Met Department, Mr. Shashidhar Reddy, the Vice Chairman of the National Disaster Management Authority, and also joining us from Odisha, the Revenue and Disaster Management Minister, Suryanarayan Patra. Let's just go across to the Met Department, sir, and Mr. Rathore. Tell us what your assessment is this evening. We're reporting that the storm is still about 400 kilometers away from the coastline. It's picking up speed and intensity literally every minute. Do you expect that it might actually take place over the waters rather than hit land? Is that something that you could also foresee and we could avert a disaster?
There is very little chance that you can avert the cyclone as of now. In the past 24 hours, it has been consistently moving northwestwardly direction at the speed of 15 km per hour, and presently it is situated 400 km southeast of Gopalpur. It is likely to move northwestward and likely to hit the Gopalpur 6 p.m. tomorrow. And currently it is very severe cyclonic storm with the wind speed 210 to 220, gusting up to 230. So while it is when it is likely to hit, it is going to maintain that kind of fury. There is a lot of debate whether it is going to further intensify, and further intensification would mean that it is a super cyclone. It is only a technical jargon. It has enough devastating power, whether you call it very severe cyclone with wind speed 210 to 220 or cross the threshold. It doesn't matter much.
Right. In Western jargon, they say a category 5 storm or something.
Now it is category T 6.0 now.
Right.
And it is likely to maintain. There may be slight intensification for a while, but it may again come down.
Right.